There was once a Yoruba young man named Tosin, an apprentice tailor whose hands seemed blessed from the start. Under his master's training, Tosin thrived. His stitches were clean, his finishing precise, and his sense of style unmatched. Customers often asked, "Did the master sew this?" Only to be told, "No, it was the boy." His master loved him, and so did the customers. Everyone believed he was born to succeed in fashion. And truly, as long as he was under his master's covering, everything he touched prospered. But the day came when his apprenticeship ended and the whole community celebrated his graduation. They said, if he was this good under training, then his own shop will be extraordinary. But they were wrong. Shortly after he launched his own tailoring business, Tosin noticed a strange pattern. Whenever he sewed for himself or for family without charging money, the clothes came out perfect. But the moment he was paid for a job, something went wrong. He would miscut good fabric. Threads would tangle. He would forget measurements. Customers began returning clothes in anger, demanding refunds. The same hands that once amazed now brought embarrassment. In just a few months, the once promising shop was deserted. Shame covered his name. He closed the shop, sold off his sewing machines to return to the village after many years of absence. Maybe tailoring isn't my calling, he thought, on his way to the village. He took his remaining savings and ventured into farming. Other farmers in the village testified of the fertile ground. Tosin bought the best seeds, prepared his land carefully, and sowed his seeds. But something unseen was working against him. His seeds rotted underground, less than half germinated, and the few that grew were eaten by pests or grew stunted. At harvest, his crops were tattered, shriveled, and unmarketable. Another loss, no profit. His capital vanished like smoke. Then, in desperation, Tosin sold a piece of his family's ancestral land. With the money, he returned to the city, this time to start a transport business. He bought a second-hand commercial bus. At first, things looked promising. The engine ran well, the roads were open, and passengers filled his seats. Then the storm returned. Police stopped him constantly, not for genuine reasons, but as if he was mocked. If it wasn't the police, reckless drivers would crash into him, or he into them. He found himself at the mechanic's workshop almost every day. Worse still, the bus broke down at the worst times. Flat tires at rush hour, engine failures, soaked spark plugs. At some point, all his daily income was consumed by repairs. He whispered to himself, if I don't sell this bus, it may be the death of me. So he cleaned it, covered the faults, and waited for a buyer. One soon came, a man named Felix, who trusted him without suspicion, but Tosin lied. The engine is strong, bus in perfect condition. I'm only selling because of a family emergency. He painted a perfect picture of what the bus was not. Felix paid in full. To Tosin's horror, Felix began operating the vehicle at a station near his own neighborhood. Tosin avoided the area like a plague. When he had to travel, he would scan the bus park like a wanted criminal, hiding behind walls, poles, or tinted windows, just to avoid the man he deceived. One afternoon, just as Tosin thought the coast was clear, a voice behind him shouted, "Brother Tosin!" He froze. His heart pounded. Fear paralyzed him. His knees weakened. Sweat broke out instantly. His sin had found him. He turned slowly, expecting confrontation, insult, or maybe even a punch. But instead, Felix ran up to him, smiling and saying, "Sir, God bless you. That bus you sold me, what a blessing. Just as you said, I've had no single problem with it. I recovered my capital in record time. If you ever have another vehicle to sell, please let me be the first to know." Tosin's mouth fell open but speechless. His mind raced. What? That bus? The same bus that nearly ruined my life? He was too shocked to respond. After the man left, Tosin stood still for a long time, overwhelmed. That moment broke him. it also awakened him. He realized the problem had never been the bus, not the tailoring business, and the village ground wasn't the issue in his farming. Something spiritual was wrong, something that followed him from trade to trade, business to business. It was his own hands. His hand was under bondage. Everything he touched with it turned to ruin. Convicted and humbled, Tosin went in search for solution, and he came across some prayer points to use for his spiritual warfare. He declared a 7-day fasting and night prayer program. Those nights, Tosin prayed like never before. With holy anger in his spirit and oil on his palms, he fought in the spirit. He prayed earnestly over his hands, binding every force of darkness, enforcing evil decrees against his life, and loosing his hands from the chains of bondage. After the program, days passed, then weeks. And one day, Tosin did something bold. He returned to fashion. This time, garments came out perfect. Clients returned, orders multiplied. His name began to spread again. Today, he owns 2 fashion outlets in the city, bigger than the shop he trained in. Even his former master also patronizes him. What changed? Not the tools, not the trade, not the location. It was his hands that were finally delivered. Moral of the story: many today are like Tosin, hardworking, skilled, and full of ideas, yet every venture crumbles. Not because they lack effort, but because unseen chains are binding their hands. Until the chains are broken and the hands are delivered, labor will remain in vain. Until the curse is broken, even the best tools will fail in your hands. Do you need deliverance from hand in bondage? Those same prayer points are available in the description box below. The Lord will bless the work of your hands, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. Deuteronomy 28:12. Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon you, and establish the work of your hands, in Jesus' name. Psalm 90:17. The end.